Have you ever wondered how some people just seem to remember everything, while the rest of us, well, we forget things all the time? Today, we're going to unlock a seriously powerful technique that can completely rewire how you learn and remember information. So let's dive in.
Okay, look at this. Just look at the difference. On one side, you've got an average student taking 3 whole days to get one formula to stick. But on the other, a top performer mastering 300 complex diagrams in just 2 hours. The gap isn't just big, it's absolutely massive. It really makes you wonder, right? Is this person some kind of genius? A superhero with a magical brain? Are you either born with it or you're not? The answer is no, not even close. This isn't magic, it's a method. It's all about working with your brain's natural programming instead of fighting against it.
And here it is. It's called the memory palace, or the Loci Method. And this isn't some new age trick, it's an ancient technique. It basically hacks your brain's incredible spatial memory, your ability to remember places, and turns it into a filing cabinet for any fact, number, or idea you want to learn. So, before we can even start building our palace, we gotta look at the blueprints. Section 1 is all about understanding your brain's secret design and why this method is so ridiculously effective.
Here's the key thing to get. Our brains did not evolve to remember boring lines of text on a page. Think about it. For thousands of years, our brains evolved to navigate really complex landscapes, to remember where the good berries were and where the saber-toothed tigers hung out. This technique just takes that ancient, powerful GPS system and uses it for modern learning. And get this, your brain processes images 60,000 times faster than it processes text. That is not a small number. That's the difference between walking to the store and taking a fighter jet. So the memory palace works because it turns all that boring, abstract stuff into vivid pictures, tapping directly into that built-in superpower. All right, so now we know the why. Let's get our hands dirty with the how. Section 2, building your mental palace. This is where we lay the foundation and actually start putting this thing together. So the first step is actually pretty simple. You need to pick a place you know like the back of your hand. Your home is usually the perfect place to start. I mean, you could walk through it with your eyes closed, right? Imagine walking from your front door, through the living room, into the kitchen. Each room, each corner, each piece of furniture, that's going to become a storage spot, a little chapter for a piece of information. Okay, so you've got your location, but here's the thing. Just placing a fact on your sofa isn't going to cut it. To make it truly unforgettable, you've got to make it weird. You've got to make it dramatic. In Section 3, we're going to learn how to add a little magic. And this isn't just some silly gimmick, it's totally backed by science. Researchers from places like Harvard and MIT have found that our brains are just hardwired to remember things that are strange or emotional or just plain absurd. The weirder the image, the better it sticks. The normal stuff, that just fades away. Let's try a real example. Let's say you need to remember meiosis for a biology class. That's the process where chromosomes swap genetic material. Okay, you've picked your kitchen as the location. Now, picture a pot of spaghetti boiling on your stove. But these aren't just noodles. They're alive. They're wiggling around, and they're dramatically pulling off their own arms and legs and swapping them with each other. It's a completely ridiculous image, I know, but I bet you'll never forget what happens during meiosis again. What about something like a number, a really complex one? Let's try Avogadro's number from chemistry. The first few digits are 6.022. Okay. Your location is your living room sofa. Now, picture 6 of your favorite Avengers just chilling on your sofa, messily eating 22 tacos. 6, 22, bam. All of a sudden, those random digits are attached to a crazy story happening right there in your living room. You're not going to forget that. Creating these wild images is definitely the fun part, but how do we make sure they stick? How do we make sure we can pull them up when we're, under pressure in an exam? That brings us to Section 4, locking in the knowledge. So to really bolt these memories down, we use what's called the 3P method. First step is pattern. Don't just memorize the weird image, understand the logic behind it. Why are the noodles swapping limbs? Oh, right, because that's what chromosomes do. Second, practice. You have to mentally walk through your palace. Go to the kitchen, see the noodles, go to the living room, see the Avengers. Do this at least 3 times. And finally, placement. Be super specific. The Avengers aren't just somewhere in the living room, they're on that specific cushion of your sofa. Now, this is absolutely crucial. You cannot build a memory palace while you're scrolling on your phone or watching TV. It just won't work. This requires deep, focused attention. But the payoff is huge. Seriously, 2 hours of locked-in, focused palace building is way, way more effective than 8 hours of distracted, half-there studying. And here's a great way to manage that focus. It's called the 90-20-2 cycle. You commit to 90 minutes of deep work, just building and reviewing your palace. Then, and this part is non-negotiable, you take a 20-minute break. And I mean a real break. No phone, no computer. You just close your eyes and let your brain process everything. After that, you take 2 minutes to get ready for your next 90-minute sprint. It's a game changer.
Okay, so you've got the science, you've got the steps, you've even got a schedule, but there is one final massive trap that we all fall into, and getting past it is maybe the most important step of all. Welcome to Section 5, From Fake Win to Reality.
You know this feeling. We've all been there. You watch an explainer, like this one, you get excited, you feel inspired, and you feel like you've already learned something just by watching. That feeling, that's called a fake win. It's the satisfaction of making progress without actually doing any of the work. And what this does is it creates something called the identity gap. That's the distance between the person you want to be, the person with the amazing memory, and the person who just watches videos about it. Our goal isn't to just know about the memory palace, it's to close that gap. And we do that with action. And the secret to closing that gap, the key to all of this, is this simple idea: making one small dumb move. It doesn't mean building a 100-room palace tonight. It means taking one tiny, simple, almost stupidly easy action right now. Something that proves to yourself that you've actually started. So that's my challenge to you. Don't just close this and move on to the next thing. Right now, what is the one fact, one phone number, one birthday that you are going to put into your palace? Pick a spot in the room you're in right now. Create a bizarre, unforgettable image for it. That tiny action, that's not just progress. That's proof. It's proof that you're ready to start building.